So today I'm here looking at the Fullacht Fiadh and setting a new fire for it filled with stones. The collection of wood is extremely important. There's the bonfire so far, not finished. It needs to be covered in smaller sticks. The larger logs are useful at a lower level once the fire really gets going, but you're really looking for nice dry stuff here. Does it matter what the wood is? Not particularly. I know alder was very popular. Ash is good, but we've got bits of pine. We've probably got bits of, what else? Wouldn't be surprised if there's hazel in there as well. Bit of everything, but good wood that burns quickly, because you want this whole process to happen fairly fast. And then maybe even have a secondary fire for more stones, particularly when the Fullacht Fiadh is this full. So, all kinds of concerns to be thinking about, and all kinds of processes would be related to this site, which largely was, I believe, as do a lot of other archaeologists, that it was a bath site. You might well use a dry pit and the same process without water, and sandwich lumps of meat wrapped in various herbal leaves in order to be cooking while everyone has a bath, like in the days of the Fianna, according to Marie Heaney in her beautiful little book, Over 9 Waves. And what I'm really feeling in terms of experimental archaeology is the necessity for the process. Like, one of the things is the gathering of wood. There's enough fallen bits of wood. Most of it hasn't sunk into the ground and is actually dry enough to use. Anything falling, as in on its way down as well, getting stuck, perfect for this kind of use. So there's some useful stuff there I've added to, thanks to the lads as well who were doing the groundskeeping. And it's just a question of showing how everything is going on. Like, what happens to the charcoal next? You know, just there. Does some of it get processed for glue, or the production of soap with the ashes from the fire? And where would that happen? Would everything happen inside the circle behind me? Or would it then start to happen out here? You know, it's likely you might store wood out here. And I was even thinking of using some natural materials like the pine there to cover over the bonfire instead of using tarpaulin. But I'd say just to keep it dry for a couple of weeks, I'm going to have to cover it in tarp. So it's an interesting exercise in terms of trying to find out what was going on here and not looking at modern aesthetics as to, oh, you can't have that there, it looks too messy. Yes, well, there would have been some mess because we're talking about process. So there's an ongoing thing going on the whole time. So the wood has been gathered. I've been lucky to find a pile over there. I'm starting to arrange it. I've started creating a pile over there as well. A lot of that is a bit rotten, so maybe not much good. But the whole notion of what next, you know, here's the burnt bits of charcoal from the last one. And I thought it was time to move it from the original spot, which was there for many years, going for a more central space and better protected from the elements, particularly the water. Now, this is the first place to get flooded on site in terms of pathways, so I have to keep an eye on that and make sure that is ready for later on in the month. And, you know, other questions like, you know, what would you do with the dead rotten wood? Would you find a corner and put it in there? Or is that very much a modern gardening mindset, you know? Depending on the location, for example, where this Fullacht Fiadh is, there's enough things going on around it, and obviously in the forest too, in order for things to be happening outside of it, I would imagine. But I suppose we're doing our best to recreate what it may have been like. So here we have a functioning Fullacht Fiadh site. There's another pile of timber underneath those pine leaves there and branches. We have the remnants of the last burning, which will be interesting to see what we can do with that. The bonfire over there, and right over there we have another little pile. drying and waiting for a new burn. So there we have it, the Fullacht Fiadh, all set and ready to go. Bye now, good luck, take care.